first time in 3 seasons. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome here to Dover International Raceway as we get set to go racing here in Season 5 of the Pizza Hut X Series. Getting ready for what's going to be our 5th race of the season. I'm sorry, 6th race of the season, I should say, of this year. And we are getting close to All-Star Race Weekend as well. I mean, after today's race here at Dover, we've then only got 2 more races, I believe, only 1 race for the Pizza Hut X Series drivers at Kentucky, and then they take an off week the following week before All-Star Race break. So, these drivers, they're getting close to the halfway point of the season, which means then we'll be getting ready for the second half of the regular season, when really it comes down to who's going to make it into the playoffs and who doesn't. So, a couple of opportunities here before All-Star break comes upon us, and another opportunity for another driver to get into victory lane. So far this season, we have had 5 total races, 5 different race winners. The most recent of those, of course, Rob Evans taking the checkered flag last time out. And so we're going to have to see if maybe we will go 6 for 6 in a new driver going to victory lane in this one here today. J Shelly and Eli Bright make up the front row. They both haven't gone to victory lane yet this season. Shelly last week just got himself back into the top 30 in points. He's now 29th in the standings coming into this race. Eli Bright, on the other hand, comes into this race currently situated in the 26th position in points, and he had a rather dismal run in last week's race at Atlanta. Let's go get that command.
Drivers, start your engines!
So, as the command is given, let's give you your top 10 in the point standings coming to this race, presented by Blame Shelly Insurance. How ironic, the Blame Shelly Insurance Chevy lined up on the pole for this race. Phil Parker is still the points leader, 9 points in hand over Z Flickinger, who managed to cut into that points lead a little bit last week at Atlanta. Austin LaPlante, who rolls off third today, is third in points. He is 11 points back. That's really the 3 that are really in close proximity to battle for the points lead in today's race. Fourth in the standings is Daniel Olson with rookie points leader Andrew Davis in 5th. Rob Evans, our winner last week at Atlanta, currently in 6th. Heather Gallant in 7th. Alexander Rowe 8th. Brooke Allen, who won the inaugural race here back in Season 1, is 9th. And Diego Yepez will complete the top 10 in the points coming into this race. 43 points separating 1st through 10th in the standings. Now, I mentioned that this is the first time in 3 seasons we've been to this racetrack. That's right. Only in Seasons 1 and 2 did the Pizza Hut X Series come to Dover. Brooke Allen winning in Season 1, Ace Garcia in Season 2. The other 2 seasons, 3 and 4, it was FTF and Bump Draft and Super Speedway that replaced this track's slot on the schedule. But we're back. We're ready to go racing at the Monster Mile. 60 laps of racing here today. And James Shelly's going to lead us down. Flagman, put it out there, why don't you? Green flag's in the air. Let's roll. Shelly jumps out to the top position. Battle will be on for 2nd. Then again, maybe it won't. LaPlante looks like he might have cleared for the spot. And now here comes Jake Rogers to the inside for 2nd place. Big run there for the Pepsi Twist Ford. Rogers has been on a skid as of late, dropped 12 spots in the standings last week, fell to 20th in the points after being top 10 in the standings going into Atlanta. Now Nathan Hudson going to look for the race lead. Big run for him. 2-time winner last season, looking for his first win this year. Whoa, almost some contact back there between Jake Rogers and Angel Navarro, who now cracks the top 5. Cars moving around quite a bit here as they are going about 180 plus into the corner. Hudson now under fire. Charles Jackson going to go for the race lead in the 78. Jackson had a good run last week at Atlanta. Jumped up 3 spots in the standings to 11th, just outside the top 10 in points. Now he's going to lose the race lead to Nathan Hudson. Now, I did find out down in the garage area what the fuel window is for these guys. They cannot make it the full 60 laps on 1 tank of fuel. They will be having to come to pit road before this race is over, whether it be under caution or under green. Fuel window somewhere around 48 to 51 laps. And there is a caution right there. And I don't know if this caution coming out when it does is going to allow them to pit and make enough fuel or not. But Charles Jackson wants to lead him under caution. And he will, by half a car length, lead that lap and be leading us under yellow. Incident was down in turn 1. Now, one problem we usually have here at Dover is the leaders catching up to the drivers that get involved in the wreck and basically plowing into the incident. And it looks like that's not going to be the case here. Looks like we are going to get through this pretty unscathed, at least for the race leaders. I saw the 4 of Ryan George back there. He's badly damaged, and he's coming to pit road. Let's see who else might have been involved. Rookie Andrew Gonzalez has got some damage. N Guenther is back here. Don't know if he's got damage or not. There is damage to the 25 of Jessica Miles. A little bit of front-end damage on her Chevrolet. And also, Anna Bronskas has got some damage on that Delta Airlines Chevy Camaro. Teammate Wyatt Quayle behind there in the 62, but doesn't look like he's got any damage. The 2, 25, 64 all coming to pit road. Looks like N Guenther, our Phoenix winner, got through unscathed as he's not coming to the pit lane. And now the pits will be open. Do they bother coming to pit road here under caution? And if they were that close on fuel, I mean, they were going to be somewhere about, what, 10 to 12 laps short? Can they save enough fuel here under pacing, do you think, to maybe make it the rest of this way if we go green? I don't know. But Charles Jackson leads, Nathan Hudson, Angel Navarro, Jake Rogers, and Juan Garcia. Top 5, let's go back and take a look at a replay of what put us under our first caution today here at Dover. Well, they were 3 wide, several rows deep, 4 wide further back there with Patrick Curtis in the middle. But here's what happens off of turn 4. Ryan George the inside of M McIntire, and it just kind of looks like the 9 came down, the 4 came up, that both of them make contact. That sends Ryan George down into Andrew Gonzalez. Both cars pound the wall pretty good there. And then they're going to drift up here into turn 1. Wow, even more contact between those two. They'll hit the wall a second time. That might have been a third time, actually. And then there's nowhere for Jessica Miles to go. She runs into the back of Andrew Gonzalez. Then she gets a hit from Anna Bronskas. Look at Phil Parker, the points leader, slide around on the outside. Sky Commons will do the same. Wyatt Quayle, N Guenther, and K Batson wisely slam on the brakes to avoid this wreck, and I don't think any of those 3 got any damage. Looks like it was the 2, 25, 64, and 4 for the most part that got any damage whatsoever. Don't know if they'll all be able to continue or not. I mean, the 4 and the 64 took some pretty hard hits into that inside safer barrier all the way down the front straightaway, but we'll have to see if anyone's going to be retiring from the race early here at Dover as we head back to green. Lights have gone out atop the Chevy Corvette pace car. Green flag will come back out on lap 10 of 60, which should give us, according to my calculations, 51 laps to go. 2 drivers out of the race, as you can see there, finishing 41st and 42nd will be Anna Bronskas and Ryan George. Both those drivers have had very struggling starts to the season. It continues here today at Dover. Bronskas dropped to 31st in the points after last week's race at Atlanta. Ryan George currently mired 39th, and so both drivers going to find themselves in a bit of a pickle, probably heading into All-Star race break. Charles Jackson will be the race leader over Nathan Hudson, Angel Navarro, Jake Rogers, Juan Garcia, all 5 still looking for their first win of the season. Cole Deaver lines up in 6th with Mason Wood 7th, pole sitter J Shelly back in 8th, Austin LaPlante currently 9th, and M McIntire, who we saw have that contact with Ryan George to bring out that first caution, he currently completes the top 10. But we managed to get, what, about 5 laps in of green flag racing here? So maybe we can go into a green flag run this time as well. It's very unusual for us to go into green flag runs here at Dover. Usually they're wreck fest, so that was a bit of a pleasant surprise as Jackson and Hudson are both going to break away from the rest of the field, at least for the moment, and now they will rekindle their battle as Hudson dives to the inside of the 78. Hudson, we mentioned, was a 2-time winner last year. He finished the season out overall 35th in the point standings, and his 2 wins, he was so far down in points outside the top 30 in the standings. Actually, once the regular season came to a close, he was not eligible to battle in the playoffs. So looking to get a victory here and remain consistent is the driver of the number 1, now out of Michael Norman Motorsports. Last year, he was with Srigley Motorsports. Charles Jackson was also a 2-time winner last year, but he also didn't finish out the season that great in the points, finishing in the 29th position in the standings. And don't look now, here comes Cole Deaver in the 15. Now already Gardner Motorsports has 2 wins this season. One, of course, last week with rookie Rob Evans, and then back at Arizona with Z Flickinger picking up his first career win. Well, Cole Deaver's looking awfully racy right now in that 15, trying to become the third driver out of Gardner Racing to go to victory lane. Contact back there. Whoa! Who was that? I think that was Joshua Hyatt and Andrew Davis. Nice save by the rookie, but that was close as they're going to go 3 wide up here. Patrick Curtis has been in a lot of rather precarious areas. He was in a 4 wide situation a while back. Whoa! Contact further up at the front between Cole Deaver and Nathan Hudson. They keep it together, but the caution flag is out. I don't know if it was before or after they hit the start-finish line. They're not slowing, so I'm assuming it was after they had hit the start-finish line. They are now racing back to what will be our second caution of the day. It looks like another incident out of turn 4. Oh, no. Oh, and there they go plowing in. Oh, shoot. And we got a car upside down. That's H Gallant, the car that was still sitting there. Kyle Langeland and Nathan Hudson was the leader at the time, and he just plowed into the wreck. That's the one problem that we always seem to have here at Dover. It's only a mile in length, and these drivers don't have a lot of time to slow down when they get to the start-finish line. And a lot of times, drivers that wreck over in the turn 4 to turn 1 area, they don't leave the scene of the accident all that quickly. And there you see what remains of Nathan Hudson, who was out in front when that caution came out, and he led them to the line and took the caution as the leader. But now it doesn't look like he's going to be the leader anymore, as that car is badly damaged. Looks like Cole Deaver might inherit the race lead as they're making these pit stops, and this will mean they'll be good to go the rest of the way on fuel, by the way, as well. So fuel strategy will not be a factor in the outcome of this race. Carson Gunn with a good pit stop. Oh, and Cole Deaver got held up there by the 0-2 of Eli Bright, who was coming to his pit stall. I think Carson Gunn might get out with the race lead. And I think, yeah, that's going to be the case. Carson Gunn will lead them off pit road over Charles Jackson, and then I think Patrick Curtis also beat the 15 off of pit road. So Carson Gunn, with that congested pit road, will inherit the race lead over teammate Charles Jackson when we go back green. For now, let's see what happened over out of turn 4, and then with the race leader Nathan Hudson into turn 1. And a bit of the reason of why we ended up taking Dover off the schedule the last 2 seasons is basically a little bit of what we're about to see here. There you see the contact. That was Chloe Ericsson and Mark Davidson. Davidson hooking the 42. They collect up H Gallant there in the 81. She's going to hit the wall pretty well. And then, as usual, they're going to drift back up the racetrack here going into turn number 1. I don't know if anyone's going to hit them or not. I saw a number of drivers that were slow, but I think that might have been because they were just tiptoeing around this wreck. And nobody here is going to get involved, at least up at this point. There's last week's winner, Rob Evans, trying to get to the inside of Austin LaPlante, because remember, these drivers are still racing back to the start-finish line to receive the caution. Points leader Phil Parker back here, former winner, as well as a former winner in Z Flickinger. Here come Jessica Miles and Andrew Gonzalez. I don't think anyone hit, there's another car up here that was wrecked. Oh yeah, Chloe Ericsson, she got it going. So nobody got into the 42. Now let's see what happens here. Now, they're coming back to the start-finish line right now. 81, oh, 81 pulled back up the track. Why did she do that? Look at that, she pulls right up in the racing line. Why in the world did H Gallant do that? She should have kept her car down on the apron and then pulls right up in front of the leaders. Okay, now, normally we end up having where the leaders will go down the apron, and that's where drivers are currently situated. But the 81 of H Gallant just pulled right up into the field, literally, up into the racing line. I don't understand that. Her car gets flipped over after the contact from Nathan Hudson, and she's going to take the 30 of Kyle Langeland, the 95 of Juan Garcia, the 5 of Andrew Davis, and maybe a little contact as well for the 89 of Quentin Moore with her. I mean, a lot of times you can, excuse a driver that's on the apron over in turn 1, but H Gallant backed the race car up right in front of the leaders, and I don't think Nathan Hudson's going to be very happy with Heather Gallant after that. You can't even chalk that up to a rookie mistake. That was not a wise move over there in turn 1. And that cost Nathan Hudson, I can't say definitely, but quite potentially, a win in this race. And Nathan Hudson came into this race 36th in points, so regardless of if he won or not, he still was looking for a good points day, and now because of that, that's not going to be the case. And Heather Gallant costing herself as well. She was 7th in the points coming into this race, and this may drop her out of the top 10 in the standings. Just, I think, a very unnecessary wreck down in turn 1 after what brought out the caution. Now 4 more drivers in the garage area, including Chloe Ericsson, Heather Gallant, Kyle Langeland, and Nathan Hudson. As we get ready to go back green, these drivers should be good to go the rest of the way on fuel. Now Carson Gum getting it done on pit road with a little bit of help of some slower cars. Very congested pit road. Restarts ahead of Charles Jackson. Patrick Curtis lines up in 3rd. Cole Deaver went in the leader, came out in 4th. H Navarro there in 5th. And then it's going to be Mason Wood, J Jefferson, Jake Rogers, Joshua Hyatt, and Matt McIntire. That is your top 10 as we get ready to go back green flag racing. And we've got about 41 laps remaining. Carson Gum comes into this race 24th in the point standings, 2-time winner last season. Had a career year, was his first multi-win season in the Pizza Next Series, and now out in front showing the way here at Dover. We've yet to see the only former winner of this race in this series up near the front, that being the 3 of Brooke Allan. So we'll see if Brooke makes her appearance up near the front, near the closing stages. There's still about 2/3 of the race left to go. And look at this, battle between the teammates. Charles Jackson all over the back bumper of Carson Gum as there was contact right there between Mason Wood and J Jefferson, who are battling right now for 3rd. Jefferson's going to clear for the spot. Jefferson comes into this race currently situated dead last in the points, so certainly needs a good run here today. Mason Wood, 16th in the standings. And here comes that 12 of Jake Rogers with a big run. Now the top 5 all up here. You can throw a blanket over them as they're all battling side by side all the way through from 1st back to 5th. And now J Jefferson gets to the inside of Carson Gum. Contact! And Jefferson's going to get wrecked! Off the nose of Carson Gum. Saves it, though. Oh, and they're still wrecking further back. That's Andrew Davis turned around. Well, he's got damage. Does J Jefferson, but he and Carson Gum did a pretty good job of saving their race cars after that contact between the both. Caution will wave for the 3rd time today, though, and that was a battle for the race lead. Jefferson pancaked the left side of his race car into the inside wall pretty good. Carson Gum has some pretty extensive right side damage after getting squeezed up into the wall off turn 4. And there may be some not so pleasantries being exchanged right there between the 05 and the 99, but both drivers decide to stay out despite pits being open. And now there you see Mason Wood and Charles Jackson trying to wait until those two get by them, because right now they are scored in, I believe it's 2nd and 3rd. Or 3rd and 4th, rather. Wait a minute, they're scoring somebody else as the race leader. Oh, Jake Rogers is the race leader. Okay, hold on, so they got to catch up to him. Jefferson and Gum are actually scored 2nd and 3rd, with Jackson and Wood in 4th and 5th. Jake Rogers, actually, in the 12 is your race leader. And maybe the pits weren't open because the pace car hadn't yet picked up the race leader. Let's actually wait to go to a replay first. Let's see if the 05 and the 99 decide to come to pit road this time or not. So Jake Rogers, our winner last year at M Super Speedway, showing the way here. Pits will undoubtedly be open this time now that the field is lined up behind the pace car. And are Jefferson and Gum coming to pit road? No, they are not. So we'll have to see if the damage that both of them sustain is going to hinder them in any way, shape, or form speed-wise. For now, though, let's go back to take a look at replay of what brought out this 3rd caution. Well, there's no doubt this certainly could have been a lot worse. Let's see where the contact begins. Oh, yeah, right there. Boy, Carson Gum turned on the exit of the corner, turned hard on the exit of the corner, and gets J Jefferson in the right rear there. At the same time, Jefferson was drifting up the track. There you see Gum with the damage there on the right front and right side. And there you see right there, Jefferson nearly had the thing saved from even making contact with the wall. But he gets the wall with the left side. He hit it pretty square, though, and then keeps the car going. You see further back there, I think that was Andrew Davis off the nose of, was that M McIntire? No, it's Joshua Hyatt and Garrett Sydnor. Garrett Sydnor made the initial contact with the 5, turned him down off the nose of Joshua Hyatt. Davis had crossed the line in the 11th position, so he'll probably gain that spot back, but I don't know how much damage he got with the front end of his race car nosing it into that inside wall. So that's what brought out the caution. We dodged a bullet here, I think. Nice avoidance by everybody else to not hit J Jefferson, and somehow, some way, we got away with one here at Dover. No drivers out of the race after what we saw. Jake Rogers will restart as the leader. J Jefferson, Carson Gum second and third. We'll keep an eye on those two, see how up to speed they are. Charles Jackson fourth, fifth Mason Wood. Rest of the top 10, Patrick Curtis, M McIntire, A Navarro, Eli Bright, and Wyatt Quayle now cracks the top 10. Getting close to the halfway point of this race. Already working our third caution. Green flag comes back out. And that might be the tail of the tape right there. Jake Rogers pulls away from J Jefferson. So I think that 0-5 might be a little bit slow. Here comes Charles Jackson and Mason Wood, who are up to speed and not damaged. And, oh, wow, there might have been some contact right there. Jackson might have gotten J Jefferson in the left rear quarter panel. Jefferson getting pushed every which way here today. Battle on for second. Mason Wood to the inside of Charles Jackson as Wyatt Quayle, the rookie, goes 3 wide. Puts Patrick Curtis in the middle with Jefferson way up top side. There might have had some contact right there between the 78 of Jackson and the 62 of Quayle, but somehow we still keep it together. Eli Bright fighting his way up towards the front there. Trying to get up here with his teammate Jake Rogers. We saw Juan Garcia was up here in the front earlier, but he got involved in that wreck involving H Gallant. Ooh! There's last week's winner, Rob Evans, and he almost made contact with M McIntire in the 9. We had a change for the race lead. Rookie Wyatt Quayle will go to the top position. In the 62 car, the team that probably has the worst record in the Pizza Hut X Series. Fishing way down in the standings season after season after season. Right now, Wyatt Quayle enjoying the view out in front. Battle is heating up for second. Rogers has it. Mason Wood wants it. And Eli Bright is right there as well. And here comes Austin LaPlante in the 7. We haven't really seen Phil Parker up here at the front. LaPlante, third in the point stands, 11 points out. Might have a chance to bypass both former winners this season, Z Flickinger and Phil Parker, and take the points lead over. He's already finished second twice this year. He almost went 3 wide with Jake Rogers and Mason Wood. Now will battle for third with the 27. He'll take that spot. Another driver having a good run that's cracked the top 10. How about the 70 of J Sandfer? Nice run for her. Jean did not have a good run in Atlanta last week. Dropped 15. Or I'm sorry, she did have a good run. I'm sorry, did have a good run in Atlanta. Gained 15 spots in the points, up to 23rd in the standings. And both the Joanna Atwood Motorsports cars looking good right now. Wood currently scored 5th, and Jean currently scored in 8th. Our Phoenix race winner, N Guenther, has now cracked the top 10. He avoided that first wreck of the day. Came almost to a dead stop to avoid it, and now has fought his way up here into the top 10, trying to look for his second win of the season. Right now, he is the second highest running of the former winners this season. Rob Evans the highest, currently in the 5th position as we have a change for the lead. LaPlante's going to take the spot from Wyatt Quayle, and just as the caution comes out. And they were catching traffic as well there. 64 of Andrew Gonzalez. Is he going to stay on the lead lap, or is LaPlante going to lap him before they get to the start-finish line? That was a close call. And oh no, 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 no. They're in turn 2. Slow down, slow down, slow, slow! Yikes! Oh, brother. You couldn't have gotten any closer than that. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Well, Jessica Miles has got more damage. I think Gonzalez did win the battle back to the line. I think he's still on the lead lap. One of our former winners here, B Allan, is back here. I don't know if she was involved. There's a car on pit road, and that's A Navarro 07, who was running either just inside or just barely outside of the top 10, was having a good outing here today at Dover, and Navarro sits on pit road. Boy, LaPlante avoided near disaster there. He nearly ran into the back of Jessica Miles, but we will probably be restarting with less than 20 to go. Let's see what brought out the caution. Looks like another incident from turn 4 down to turn 1. Yeah, I said this was a battle just outside the top 10, and this was actually for 11th place. Angel Navarro and Ying Canario in the 45 to his inside. And kind of almost like what we've seen all day today, that outside driver turning hard in the exit of the corner and down into the car to the inside, getting hooked in the left rear quarter panel. That was a hard impact for Angel Navarro into that inside safer barrier. The car actually came off the ground, and then there's just no way of controlling that car. It's concrete. Concrete has a lot less grip than asphalt. So when that car is spinning around, you're a passenger, and Navarro's going to spin into turn 1, but I don't think anyone hits him, which is actually quite fortunate. Maybe the 25 of Jessica Miles hits him. We'll see here in just a moment. B Allan gets by. Andrew Davis gets by. No, I think they all are going to get through. 25 was just slowing off the pace with that damage, which is why she was so far back. So, amazingly, only 2 cars were basically involved in that one. The 45 of Canario and, of course, Navarro in the 07. What a tough break, was running in 11th at the time. And brings out our 4th caution of the day here at Dover. So another driver out of the race, leaving us with 35 cars running and on the lead lap. Angel Navarro will finish the day out in 36th. And it's even more of a heartbreak for Angel Navarro coming to this race, because he's had a pretty good start to the year. 15th in the points coming into today's race. Still was looking for his first top 5 finish of the year, and it will not take place here today at the Monster Mile. Austin LaPlante probably did not want to see that caution come out. He was starting to gap himself from the rest of the field. Now they're all on his back door again, as Jake Rogers, Wyatt Quayle, Rob Evans, and Mason Wood will line up behind him in 2nd through 5th. Then you got Eli Bright, Charles Jackson, J Sandfer, M McIntire, and N Guenther, the top 10, as we get ready to go back green. Watch out for that 88 of Rob Evans. He's got a lot of momentum after his win last week at Atlanta. He'd love to win 2 in a row and all but lock himself up a spot in the playoffs. As green flag comes back out, we're going to have it with, I believe, 19 laps to go. LaPlante's finished bridesmaid twice this year. Does not want to finish bridesmaid again. Battle will be for 2nd. Wyatt Quayle, well, not much of a battle. He will take the spot from Jake Rogers, as now Rob Evans will look for the 3rd position. Get the spot as Jake Rogers slots back to 4th, just in front of teammate Eli Bright. Couple of drivers out of Swigley Motorsports with good runs. Couple of drivers out of Joanna Atwood Motorsports with good runs. And look who's starting to work his way up here, trying to crack the top 10. Nice run for Quentin Moore there in the 89. That's a driver that used a good run, 33rd in points. And how about our Daytona winner? J Gilbert right now up in the 12th position. Battling here with Daniel Olson and Alex Gray, but running top 15, that's about the best we've seen him run in the last, 4 to 5 weeks. Back up towards the front. This is for 3rd, but we got a battle for the lead brewing as well. Wyatt Quayle all over the back bumper of Austin LaPlante, looking for the top position. The veteran LaPlante, the rookie Quayle. 2 Chevrolets. Which driver's going to win out? Oh, Rob Evans got in the wall, and he got into it hard. He saved it, though. But boy, that was a hard impact with the right side of his race car off of turn 4. Everybody gave him room. He gathered it back up, but that's going to hinder his speed, I would have to think. As we got a four-way battle here for third. Eli Bright, Charles Jackson, Jake Rogers, Mason Wood, but I wonder if they might want to try and work together to reel in the top duo. I'm also wondering, we went into that green flag run the last time, and we started closing in on slower traffic like Andrew Gonzalez and Jessica Miles. Are we going to be doing that again here? There's Gonzalez midway down the back straightaway as the leaders are exiting turn 2. So yeah, he will probably be a factor. Got Ying Canario that's slow back here. Jessica Miles just at the tail end of the lead pack. And wow, how about this battle here for the lead? LaPlante moves down to block Wyatt Quayle. LaPlante doing a lot of mirror driving, but he might want to look out the windshield because they're catching that 64 and they're catching him really quickly. Where are they going to go when they catch him is the question. LaPlante turns down low. Quayle turns down even lower. And LaPlante's still going to hang on to the spot going into turn 1. That was a close call. 10 laps to go. They just hit the line there. Next car they'll encounter would be the 45 of Ying Canario, and I'm almost wondering about these guys back here when they catch that 64. We're watching the race leaders have to deal with the slow traffic now. These guys further back have to. Oh, little contact there between Bright and Gonzalez. Moving the 64 out of the way, and now Charles Jackson has to go around the outside, but they do a pretty good job so far getting around Andrew Gonzalez, who kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Where does he go when they've got him split in the middle 3 wide? Oh, Wyatt Quayle looking low. He's to the left rear quarter panel, and they are going to probably be double wide when they catch up here to the 45 of Ying Canario. Which line's going to move? Oh, LaPlante tries shooting up the middle. Can't quite get to Wyatt Quayle. Quayle will take the top position. Wyatt Quayle 35th in the points coming into this race. LaPlante third, and LaPlante wants the lead back. He's going to get back to the inside line. These are undoubtedly the two best cars. Oh, we got a wreck! Wreck over in turn 1. They've cleared the incident. And I don't know if we'll get back green or not now. We just took the caution with 6 laps to go. Yeah, I think we will get back green. Fortunately, whatever the wreck was, they got it cleared away before the leaders entered into that vicinity. But was shaping up to be a really good battle between LaPlante and Quayle. That may bring some more drivers into the picture now. Quentin Moore drove his way up to third. Interesting, though, because you're going to have the lap machine of Ying Canario in the way, because it will be a single file restart. And I'm not sure why the pace car is coming down pit road, but it is. So we got to wait for him to pick up Austin LaPlante. But while we're waiting for that, and we find out if we will get back green for maybe a green-white checker, maybe a one-lap shootout, we'll have to wait and see. Let's see what brought out the caution for what could potentially be the final time here today at Dover. Contact between teammates for the 30th position, and this was actually near the rear of the field, way near the rear of the field, not too far ahead of the race leaders Austin LaPlante, Wyatt Quayle, and there you just see Mark Davidson kind of runs Joshua Hyatt out of room, continues to drift up, then gets hooked around off the nose of the Aaron's Dream Machine, and then goes for a spin down towards the inside retaining wall. I don't know if he necessarily hits it. Nope, not quite. Hung onto it and was able to drive away, and that was why we saw that big smoke screen, but no driver that was stalled out over in turn 1. And there you see the pace car leaving pit road. But yeah, that's what brought out the caution there. Hard racing right at the rear of the field. Fortunately, it didn't involve our race leaders, but this caution could certainly set us up for a shootout. So the guys that were looking like the favorites to win, LaPlante and Wyatt Quayle, they may have some company here in the closing stages of this race at Dover. Lights are out top the pace car, so it will indeed be a green-white checkered finish here at Dover. LaPlante, Wyatt Quayle. Then you've got the lap car of Ying Canario separating second back to third place, Quentin Moore. So Moore's going to need a really good restart here if he's going to get up there and battle for the top position. Eli Bright, Charles Jackson, your top 5, and then it's going to be Mason Wood. How about Alex Gray cracking up into the top 10 here late? as he's currently going to restart in 7th, Nick Guenther 8th. 9th place is going to be Jake Rogers, with Rob Evans completing the top 10. Single file restart, so the lap cars intermingle with the lead lap cars, hence why the 45 is going to be between 2nd and 3rd. 2-lap dash. If the caution comes out at any point, the race would end under caution unless we get around to receive the white flag. So we're looking for the flagman to wave the white to know we will at least be racing back to the start-finish line. Whether he's waving the caution flag and the checker flag at the same time or just the checkers remains to be seen. Green-white checker at Dover. Here we go. And Quentin Moore is going to quickly dispatch of Canario. Let's see if he's got enough time to get up here with the top 2 now. LaPlante was ready for that restart. Now opens about a car length and a half lead between himself and Wyatt Quayle. He wants to see the white flag here as soon as possible. It's in the air, and they are going to cross the line, so we're racing back to the checkered flag. LaPlante with about 2 car lengths, maybe 3 car lengths in hand, down the back straightaway. Wyatt Quayle not even close enough to mount a charge. He timed the restart perfectly. It'll get him his first win of the season. Finally, a bridesmaid no more. Austin LaPlante's going to win here today at Dover. As consequence, he may also be taking the points lead over, heading into our next race at Kentucky. And LaPlante finally closes the deal. It's his first Pizza Hut X Series win since Season 3, when he was a 2-time winner driving the 16 for Roush Fenway Racing. He went to the Truck Series last year, came back to the Pizza Hut X Series this season, and goes back to victory lane, this time at the Monster Mile. So even having the cars bunched up behind him there for a green-white checker didn't bother him. He was ready for the green flag, and he never let Wyatt Quayle even have a sniff of an opportunity to be able to get the top position away from him. So he'll take the win. Quayle will have to settle for 2nd, Quentin Moore in 3rd, 4th place Eli Bright, Charles Jackson 5th, Mason Wood 6th, Alex Gray 7th, 8th Nick Guenther, 9th Gene Sandfer, and 10th Daniel Olson. 11th place was going to be Matt McIntire. 12th for Elijah Gilbert. That's his best finish in a long time. Rob Evans, despite pounding the wall off turn 4, follows up his win last week with a 13th place run here today. Z Flickinger had a bit of a battle-back day as he finishes top 15 and 14th, and Jake Rogers faded back there near the end. He finished in the 15th position. Rest of the top 20 were G Sydnor, Diego Yepez, Alexander Rowe, Phil Parker, and K Batson. So if my calculations are correct, Austin LaPlante with this win with the 5 bonus points is very easily going to bypass both Flickinger and Parker, who finished in 14th and 19th, and he will indeed be the points leader heading into our next race at Kentucky Speedway. As you look on down through the remainder of the finish results, a couple of the drivers that faded back there near the closing stages that were looking like real contenders. Patrick Curtis faded back. So too did Carson Gum. They finished in 27th and 29th. And we had a couple of other drivers finish off the lead lap, namely Cole Deaver, who I think had to come to pit road there under that green-white checkered finish. So he finishes in 34th. Not the run he was looking for, obviously. Also, cars that finished the lap down with Canario, Andrew Gonzalez, and Jessica Miles, as we had 31 cars finish on the lead lap of 35 running. Drivers out of the race included Angel Navarro, Kyle Langeland, Nathan Hudson, Chloe Ericsson, Heather Gallant, Anna Bronskis, Ryan George. The heartbreak of all of those, probably Nathan Hudson, who was in the lead at the time that he was wrecked and finished out the day with a DNF. But that's going to do it here today from Dover. Austin LaPlante picks up his first win of the season, and as consequence may become the 6th different driver to maybe lock himself up a spot in this season's playoffs. We're going to have to wait and see. But thank you all for tuning into today's race from Dover. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to get part of the crew today. We have shown you your full finisher results. These are your rookie point stands, your overall point stands heading into next week, as we will be going to the Kentucky Speedway with all 3 series, trucks, Pizza Hut X Series, and Hershey's Cup Series action. We've got to finish out this race weekend here, though, with Hershey's Cup Series action from Dover. That'll be coming up tomorrow. Till then, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching a production of the SRA Offline Racing as Best. LaPlante gets it done here today at the Concrete Monster Mile of Dover.